Alright, so I'm actually going to put together the Kin to Death Bard. I actually really like her. I think I like the monk a little more, but that's just me, but she's actually really pretty. I love the style, especially like the elfin features are really cool. So let's... Yeah, I wish I could do that, Selenath. I don't have Word or PowerPoint on my computer. I'm a hobo. I don't have that stuff. I'm not that cool. I don't have grade school equipment. There she is. I was lucky enough to get a first run on this one. But here, let me do this guide really quick. Wow, this is actually a really cool base. Sorry, I'm geeking out here. I'm looking at the base. So it's like a forest theme with like sticks and flowers and mushrooms, and looks really cool. But you can see that some of those mushrooms and stuff are actually part, like they didn't leave it all as one piece. Makes it easier to cast. So I'm actually going to cart out all this stuff. I'm trying not to hurt her her instrument here. There we go. Cutting out all this stuff that way I can glue it on. Okay. So basically, you just kind of see where all this fits. Looks like it fits pretty well. I mean, look at that. It's a straightforward fit. Cool. Ah, cool. Okay. Just apply a little glue. Like I said, this glue is gap filling, so it should help with this seam here. But anything it doesn't cover, I'll be able to paint. So, there's some other mushrooms, and I think they go, yeah, they go right here. There we go. Look at that. Lots of mushrooms. So the base is done. While that's drying, I'm going to clean up all the other parts. So I actually want to get rid of all this flash that's in between. I don't know if you can see it. It's between all these little strings. I'm being very, very, very careful. There. That's pretty good. I think there was a little piece over here from where I cut. Yeah, right here on her hand. I'm going to be very careful because when I'm doing this, I could accidentally pull too far and hit some of these other little parts. So, really trying not to do that. I have more control when I pull towards myself, but if you're using a sharper razor, that's can be an issue. Always mess up too whenever this gets so dull that I can't do this anymore, and I have to change it, and I get a new razor. My whole thumb has little tiny cuts on it, like not enough to bleed or anything, but just from where it hit my palm, the base. So there we go. It's clean enough. There's a little bit of a nib left, but it should be okay. I can always come back and see what I need, and then repair it if necessary. So it looks like there are two pegs on the legs. One is small and one is large. The small one, I believe, goes right here. There's a hole right there. I believe it goes in there. But the large one, I believe, is unnecessary. So I'm going to cut that off. So I'm going to just check to see if there are any mold lines, and there is one. There's one right on the back. There we go. Okay, there aren't any on these. So I'm going to dry fit the leg. It looks like it goes in pretty nicely. And she's actually wearing pants, which is Very short pants, don't get me wrong, it's Stoking to death, but she's actually wearing pants, it looks like. Nope. Yeah, she is. Yeah, they're still just very short pants, but they're pants. So that's how they get away with this line where the mold is. It's a good way of cheating. Putting the line where the line of the pants would be. That way it doesn't take away from the look of the mini. So now I gotta go through this monstrosity. So her, like, cloak that's attached to her arms is kind of all over the place. So I'm gonna clean up any of the flash that I see. It's mostly under these two spots that you'd see that. I'm almost just checking for mold lines along the cloak. Say, yeah, here's a spot right here. There we go. And then I'm cutting off all of these little holes that were used to pour the mold. So these would actually be a hole in the mold. Yeah, there. See? This one's actually really bad. So this is actually on top of that. So in order to get that, I need to cut here. Right? There. That way I still have the point of that. And then I have to actually try to come in and cut the top off of this. Just be careful. Like you can see here, that bit on top. That's what you have to worry about. So I'm actually going to go try to find the right angle to cut off as much of that as I can. There we go. And there's actually a crazy mold line right here. It's actually kind of okay, depending on how your paint skills are. You may be able to trick the light so that it doesn't show up, especially when our body's in the way. But I'm trying to clean it up as best I can. That way it's no trouble for me later. Okay. Oh, so there's a peg right here that needs to be there, but there's this one that does not need to be there. That's also what I just cleaned up on the other side on her body. There. So the benefits of dry fitting right here. Because there's still too much right here. It's not a good fit. There we go. There we go. Perfect. So I'll put a little glue. There's actually more of a gap here than there should be. That's just the way it goes sometimes. So I put a little extra glue to fill that gap. There she is. And now her amazing hat. The hat, you can see, if you look at it, it's actually kind of see-through. You can see the light come through. That means it's really thin and you gotta be worried. So I'm cutting it off here first. And then I'm gonna find, just like I did on the cloak, find that angle and try to cut it flush to the brim of her hat. That way you don't accidentally cut through the hat. Because if you did that, then it actually hurts. Because there's not really any way you can fix that, unfortunately. Kind of scraping off this nub as best I can. I gotta be really careful. Like I said, the brim of this hat's really thin. There we go. Cool. Oh, her face is all over the place. Sorry. Like I had to figure out which direction it was facing. It's awesome, but also tricky. Because this has to be completely flat as well to match with the hat. So. Oh, that's such a nice fit, actually. It's actually seamless. That's the question, though, is if it's seamless on that side, is it seamless on the other side? And it seems to be. Awesome. A little bit of flash right here. A little bit. You can also get a soft toothbrush for some of this flash and just gently hit it. Or an old brush, like here, I can take a brush. Not this one, this one's like rock hard. Yeah, there we go. I actually take a brush and kind of like this to get rid of that as well. Okay, so there's one piece left on the mold, and I need to figure out where that goes. So it was actually, let me zoom in on this photo here. That's why I have this. I don't know if it's more feathers or... It's probably more feathers. Yeah, it's right here. It's right behind her hat. So it's more feathers. Yep. That's all it is. Okay. And I think it attaches right here. We'll see. Let me glue her head on. There. One hats, and then... Oh, no. 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 Dang it. Don't do that. Don't do that to me. Crap. Nope. Dang it. I gotta use gap fill. Because you can see, this side is flush, which is great. Nice and flush. This side has gaps. You can see them there. There's one there, and then there's one there. So all I can do, unfortunately, is use gap fill with this glue to fix that. And it should be fine. It'll create a shadow, like where her hat is. It'll give it a little more realism. But at the same time, it's like, I need something to paint to give it that. So, had to do a little repair work. The problem is I wanted to just break that off, but it actually glued really quickly. Typically it doesn't happen, but it did this time. So here's that little tiny piece. Tiny, tiny piece that's left over. I believe it goes out the back somewhere. I think it goes back here somewhere. Just like that. That's what I'm gonna do. Looks good. It may go another spot on another spot, but it looks good to me. So it goes here. I think it goes there. Probably doesn't, but I like it there. No, that's like it's inside her ear. That's not right. Don't do that. Yeah, that's good enough. Yeah, that's good enough right there. That'll help cover that gap as well. If you can find a reverse photo and figure out exactly where that goes, I'd recommend doing so. Okay, so now the hand that I was thinking about before. There we go. This actually looks like there's a peg for that. So, there's a peg right there. There's a hole. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a hole on her loop there. Alright, now I gotta see where her head goes. Lever collar, yep, perfect. Collar fits right there. That's a perfect fit. So, after I drop her head, I'll be able to glue this on. There we go. Actually goes right there. Perfect. Check the back, make sure that's good. And then she goes, looking at her arts, looks like she goes right here. And that hole that I was talking about earlier, looks like it's not quite big enough. So I'm going to use the tip of your razor blade to kind of drill that out. Or actually, even better, if you're smart, you actually have a drill to literally drill out a hole for that peg. So it looks like it filled in when they poured the mold. So It's not a bad thing, it's just... There we go. I'm gonna hold her in. I'll glue her later. I haven't decided exactly how I'm gonna paint her, so... I believe she goes right here. But there she is. All done. One barred. All done. Awesome.